Alright. Thank you for watching. I'm going to make a short series of short videos where I talk about how different words have changed their meaning over time. And I'm talking about fairly recently. Sometimes within less than 100 years of time, the words have a new meaning. And this is important because it's useful to understand when you hear the old meaning of the word, when you read the old stuff. And sometimes not extremely old things. The first word I'll talk about is gay. Now when people say gay, they frequently mean a man who wants to have sex with other men, or a man who is sexually attracted to other men. And that's not what that word meant for a very long time. That's a very recent definition. I can think of 5 instances where I have seen and heard the word gay used with the old meaning. Now the old meaning of gay was bright and colorful, if you're like talking about houses or clothing, or the attitude of a person, the attitude being a lighthearted, not serious, happy, not thinking about dangerous things or things like that. Here are examples of gay being used with the old definition in the Bible, the book of James. It says something about a man having gay clothing. There it means like really nice clothing, brightly colored clothing. It contrasts it like the next verse with somebody who's poor and has the kind of clothing that a poor person would be forced to buy back then 2,000 years ago. There's a traditional Christmas carol. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. Now we don our gay apparel. They don't mean clothing that shows that you want to have sex with somebody of the same sex. It means brightly colored, festive, celebratory clothing. When the Mormons were being chased to Utah back then in the 1800s, one of them had a canary. I don't remember reading about a lot of canaries among them, but at least one of them had a canary. And in the journals that people wrote about it, or when they were recounting the story after they got to Utah, they called the canary gay, or called the canaries singing gay. They did not mean that the canary wanted to have sex with something of the same sex, or someone of the same sex. They meant when they were having difficult times, they're walking across to Utah in a rather forced move, and this canary was still chirping away and singing happy songs, and that's what that meant. It didn't, let's see, what are some other examples? Okay, in the book The Lord of the Rings, there were characters who were gay. It did not, or their clothing was gay, one of the two. But it did not mean that the characters wanted to have sex with other people of the same sex. It meant that the characters were not thinking about the danger from the orcs and the other villains in the book, and they were happy and cheerful. Okay, I had 5 examples I was thinking of earlier. Oh yes, and fairly recently, the J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, that was made in the mid-1900s. We're not talking about, multiple hundreds of years ago. And let's see. Another fairly recent example is the Flintstones cartoon from it was the 60s or the 70s. Hanna-Barbera was the company that produced it. And the theme song included the words, "We'll have a gay old time." They did not mean while you're watching that cartoon that you'll be wanting to have sex with somebody of the same sex. They meant it'll be fun, relaxing, cheerful, joyous to watch that cartoon. Thank you for watching this. You have a good day.